What's up, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt. I'm Derek, and today is a special day. Today I'm starting a new project. So, basically, what it comes down to. My wife got me this horror movie scratch-off poster about, I don't even want to say how many years ago. And as many of you know, I watch a lot of horror. But when it comes down to either being the artsy guy that wants to watch something, I don't know, artsy, or the Kurt Russell, screw it, let's watch Sleepaway Camp 3 again, I generally fall more into the Kurt Russell camp. So, in an effort to broaden my horizons and just watch new movies, I am making it a challenge to go through and review the ones that I haven't seen yet. Some of them, they do have like their American remakes and stuff like that. Example I'll give is Ring You and Ring. I had obviously seen The Ring. Ring You took a while to get to, though. So, as fast as I can, I'm going to go list off the movies that I have seen, and then the movies that I have seen since I've got this poster, and then the movies I still need to review. So that way, if there's any questions about the movies, you can come back to this little section and see which ones I've already done. So, under the scene category, I've got Invisible Man from 2020, Hereditary, It, Get Out, The Witch, The Babadook, It Follows, Creep, The Conjuring, Oculus, The Devil's Rejects, The Descent, Shaun of the Dead, Saw, 28 Days Later, The Others, Audition, The Sixth Sense, Blair Witch Project, Scream, Seven, Brain Dead, Silence of the Lambs, Misery, Reanimator, Demons, Pet Sematary, The Fly, Evil Dead 2, The Lost Boys, Hellraiser, Child's Play, Return of the Living Dead, Fright Night, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Videodrome, The Thing, Poltergeist, Creepshow, The Omen, Carrie, Suspiria, Dawn of the Dead, Halloween, Phantasm, Alien, The Shining, Friday the 13th, Jaws, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas, The Exorcist, Night of the Living Dead, Psycho, The Birds, The Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, Nosferatu. So if you're keeping track and just boom, 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 boom as I'm rattling them off, it's 60 that I had already seen before I got the poster. So, not bad. Now, the movies I've seen since I've got the poster. Jacob's Ladder, The Hitcher, Ring You, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, sorry. Now, haven't seens. So these are the ones that are going to be featured in this series. Wreck, Inside, The Vanishing, Basket Case, An American Werewolf in London, Possession, The Changeling, The Wicker Man, Don't Look Now, Rosemary's Baby, Repulsion, Blood and Black Lace, The Haunting, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, The Innocents, Peeping Tom, Eyes Without a Face, House on Haunted Hill, Dracula with Christopher Lee, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Night of the Hunter, Le Diabolique, House of Wax, Dead of Night, I Walked with a Zombie, Cat People, The Black Cat, The Invisible Man, The Mummy, The Old Dark House, Vampire, Freaks, Phantom of the Opera, The Phantom Carriage, and The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. So, if you're keeping track, I have seen, 64 out of the 100, but I changed that last night. So, I added another one to the list because I watched Let the Right One In from 2008, directed by Thomas Alfredson. Now, this movie is based on a novel that came out in 2004 of the same name, which I didn't even realize it was a book beforehand, so that was cool to find out. It is classified as a Swedish romantic horror movie. It's a Swedish vampire film. Let's just be honest about that right out of the gate. I watched this on Peacock, but some of the other places you can check it out for free, keep in mind, Pluto TV, Tubi, Plex, and the Roku channel, just to name a few of them. So, before I get started, I will be talking spoilers about a 16-year-old movie. So, you've had plenty of time to watch it, and now you've been warned. So, let's go ahead and get into the super quick plot synopsis. In 1982, a 12-year-old boy befriends who he thinks is a 12-year-old girl that just moved into his apartment complex. So, who's in the movie? Get ready for me to butcher these names, and I apologize in advance. I don't wear this as a badge of honor or anything. It's just I'm really bad at figuring out the correct pronunciations. So, the two that I have mentioned in the movie, or that starred in the movie, are the movie. The other people are very minor characters, but we got Kare Hildebrandt as Oscar and Lena Leanderson as Ely. So, what was good about the movie? I thought the performances of the two children was great. The way that the story is structured it is very believable to think that Oscar is not a social butterfly. He's kind of odd. And yeah, I was like, okay, this kid is weird. But not in a bad way, just he's kind of different. Ely, I thought her character was great. And I love the development, too, throughout the movie. Because if you remember, it starts from, we can't be friends. And then we move to, oh, they're going steady now. And then killing and defending for Oscar. I don't know if haunting is the right word to use, but her performance just was really, really good. And if anything, that's what stayed with me the most from the movie. The pool scene towards the end was just creative. I love the way that was filmed because it literally starts off with a dumpster fire. But having Oscar just being held underwater by the brother of one of the bullies, and then hearing the muffled screams coming from the water. Meanwhile, Oscar's underwater just trying not to die. And then you see the one kid who sold him out, or lured him in there. Sorry, that's what I should have said. He got drug across the pool. You just see his feet. It's not like his whole body's under or anything. No, it's just his feet. Was cool. And then the bully brother, his arm just dropping off, and then Oscar's like, oh, hey, what's going on? The one thing that I wish would have happened in there, though, because the other bully, I think his name was Connie, I wish I could have seen him get it, because he was a dick to Oscar all throughout the movie, cut his face, and then cried like a little bitch when he got whacked in the ear with a stick or metal pole or whatever it was when they were out ice skating and stuff. Any movie that's set in the 80s already has my attention. Because as I said in my Maxine review, which, oh shocker, I'm gonna reference that again. It's always a plus. I love the 80s. I didn't even realize that this was set in 1982 until I was getting specific names and stuff for this review. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good. Awesome. I mean, you could tell it was set, could have been late 70s, but not a specific, nothing that really hammers it in. And if it showed something like, oh, this is 1982, I must have completely missed that because I don't recall seeing it. But if it was in there, let me know down below. Now, some movies more or less flaunt the time period that they're in. And that's not a bad thing. Like I said, Maxine. Maxine knows it's set in 1985, and I mean, I don't even want to say exploits it. It takes advantage of the fact that it was set in the 80s. When a movie doesn't really hammer in when it's happening. So Maxine definitely does not count for this because it's 85. This, like I said, I didn't know was 82. Kind of makes it timeless in my mind, if that makes any sense at all, that it could just happen whenever. It's not specifically hammered it down to this 1 year or time period. So, what was bad about the movie? All right. This isn't necessarily a knock on the film. This is just my own personal preference. I literally cannot stress this enough. I hate bullies in movies. As somebody who was bullied back in the day, I've never liked seeing it in movies. It doesn't... I don't think it brings out the emotion that the filmmakers are wanting from me particularly. You guys could be the same, could be completely different. But I don't oh my God, I feel so sorry for him, he's being bullied. No, I flash back to those days and I get pissed. And in some cases, I straight up just stop watching the movie. Even if I know that the bullies are going to get it in the end, sometimes I just absolutely can't. I don't know. If I'm weird, let me know. If you agree, hell yeah, you're not alone. I had seen the American adaptation, Let Me In, with Chloe Grace Moretz. It came out in 2010, but it has been probably since 2010 or 2011 that I've actually seen that movie. So I don't remember a whole hell of a lot from it, but I do, like when I was watching Let the Right One In, there would be certain flashes like Oscar playing with his toys on the bus on the way to his dad's and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, I remember a scene where a kid was on a bus, like playing with his toys, and then the playground, you know, just sitting there and them talking. I remembered that, but other than that, I don't remember a whole lot from the movie. One thing I do remember from Let Me In that I liked a lot, that I was kind of expecting them to touch on in this movie, but they didn't, or once again, I may have just missed it, just like the time period, was the fact that the old guy wasn't her dad or just some random dude. That was like a 12-year-old kid that fell in love with her, but because she couldn't age and he did, he stayed with her, you know. So I don't know if I just completely missed that in the movie, but yeah, I was a little bummed because I did actually really like that. I was like, oh, that was a twist. Like, I didn't see that coming. I just thought it was her dad, you know, and that's the way they kind of play it out the whole time. And especially in Let Me In, like, it's like, oh no, you see, he was you, and then it's just basically the cycle starting all over again. Now, would I watch this movie again? Yeah, I could see myself watching it again, but it isn't a movie that I'm going to actively seek out, like a Nightmare on Elm Street or something like that. If it's on, cool, I'll watch it. Or if I'm hanging out with somebody that's like, oh, I haven't seen that, but I really want to check it out. Yeah, I could definitely see myself rewatching it in that instance. Would I buy it? Once again, yeah, I probably would buy it, especially like if it was on sale. I could definitely see myself adding that to my collection because it is a good movie. So what score would I give it? I'm going to give it a 7. It wasn't bad. It was good. But I'm not the biggest fan of vampire films. I'll just be honest about that. And I guess I should have been honest up front about it. Slashers are my bread and butter. If it's good, awesome. If it's awful, give it to me. Because I really want to sink my teeth into that. So slashers, good or bad, I think they're great. But other like vampire movies, for instance, I'm just not the biggest fan, and I'm kind of a little more picky about them, especially because this one was a very, very serious vampire movie. But one that's not a serious vampire movie and has fun with it is Abigail. Also did a review on that. Check that out, please. I guess if you're in the same boat as me and not the biggest fan of vampires, this isn't going to tip the scales by any means. It's a good movie, but it's not mind-blowing, like, oh my god, I want to check out more vampire movies. No, it was just good. So, yeah. Well, that'll about do it, guys. Please don't forget to, if you had fun, like the video. Definitely consider subscribing to the channel. That would be great. We're always trying to grow the channel, and more subscribers and likes on the videos gets it out to the YouTube verse. So we can have a talk in the comments with more people, because every video I say, I want to have a talk. Like, let's talk about this movie in the comments. And let me know your thoughts on it. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So I guess until next time, guys, have a good one.